All right, so today we're going to talk about section 9.2. So in section 9.1, we were talking about naming polynomials, so the different types of polynomials, adding and subtracting polynomials, which means we're combining like terms. So you add or subtract the coefficients and then keep the variable the same. All right, so in 9.2, we're talking about multiplying polynomials, meaning we're multiplying expressions that have many terms together. All right, so we're going to start off simple and then build our way up like we always do. So example 1, we're going to multiply a monomial, which is an expression with one term, and a trinomial, so it's an expression with 3 terms. So first example, our monomial is going to be our negative 4y squared, and then our trinomial is going to be 5y to the 4th minus 3y squared plus 2. All right, so in order to multiply these together, we're actually going to treat this monomial kind of like a coefficient in terms of how we're going to multiply. We're going to take this monomial, we're going to multiply to each term inside of the trinomial. And as you can see, I kind of drew like our little rainbow arrows there. We're going to distribute this monomial into each term and multiply. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my little distributing arrows. I know it's kind of hard to see. There's not much space there. So then we're going to multiply. So remember, when we multiply, we're going to use our exponent rules. All right. So we're going to do negative 4 times 5 gives us negative 20. Y squared times y to the 4th. We are multiplying two terms with the same base because the y's are the same. So they're both the same variable. We add the exponents. So we get y to the 6th power. Okay, and then we're going to take negative 4y squared and we're going to multiply by the negative 3y squared. Well, negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. Y squared times y squared, keep the y the same, add the exponent, so you get y to the 4th. And then multiply negative 4y squared times 2. So negative 4 times positive 2 gives us negative 8. There's no y here. So it's like multiplying times y to the 0th power, which is 1. So we leave it as y squared. Okay. Now, we are done as long as our polynomial is in standard form. Standard form, again, has that exponent. It has the highest exponent all the way on the left-hand side and slowly decreases by each exponent. So 6 is our largest exponent, and then it goes down to 4, and then it goes down to 2. So this guy is in standard form. So we circle it and we're done. Okay, so now let's do the same thing for example B. We're going to take 4b and distribute it to each term inside the parentheses. So 4b times 5b squared. Well, 4 times 5 is 20. B times b squared, add the exponents, so you get b to the 3rd. There's a little secret 1 exponent there on that b. Then we're going to take 4b, multiply it times b. Well, there's nothing to multiply the 4 by. There is this little invisible 1 here, so it's 1b. So we're going to do 4 times 1, which is 4. B to the 1st times b to the 1st gives us b squared. Add the exponents. 4b times 6, so we get 24b. Okay, again, double check that it's in standard form, so double check your exponents. Make sure they go from greatest to least. And because they do, it's in standard form, and we're done. Okay? So, let's talk about multiplying binomials together. So, multiplying an expression with 2 terms times an expression with 2 terms. We're going to use the term FOIL. And over on this side, I'm actually going to write this out as a little side note. FOIL is an abbreviation. So FOIL actually stands for something. And it's going to be the method that we're going to use to multiply our binomials together. So the F stands for first. So we're going to multiply the first terms together in each set of parentheses. The O stands for the outside. So we're going to multiply the outside terms together. The I stands for the inside terms. And then L stands for last. So we're going to multiply the last terms together. All right. So what does that mean? What does that look like? We're going to use this method to multiply all of our binomials together. So first example, and I'm going to try and keep it as color-coded as I can to this diagram over here on this side, just to keep it easy for you. We're going to multiply the first terms together. So what does that look like? Well, the first term in the first set of parentheses times the first term in the second set of parentheses. So that's going to be the 3x times the 2x. So 3x times 2x, well, 3 times 2 is 6. X times x, x to the first times x to the first, add the exponents, you get x squared. So you get 6x squared when we multiply the first terms together. Now let's multiply the outside terms. So we get 3x times 7 plus 21x, right? We're going to multiply the inside terms. So negative 5 times 2x. There we go. So negative 5 times 2x gives us negative 10x. And then we're going to multiply the last term. So negative 5 times 7 gives us negative 35. All right, so now we're going to look at our polynomial. And we have to decide whether or not it's fully simplified. And as you look at it, something should automatically be jumping out to you and saying, you know, this is not fully simplified, right? Those two are like terms. So we can actually combine them to make this a much simpler polynomial. When we combine them, we're going to get 21x minus 10x, which gives us 11x. So our final answer is going to be 6x squared plus 11x minus 35. And that's our solution to multiplying these two binomials. Okay? So let's do it again. Let's do another example. All right, so first, outside, inside, last. So multiply the first terms together. So 3x times 2x gives us 6x squared. Multiply the outside terms. So 3x times negative 5, negative 15x. Inside terms gives us 8x. Oh, my marker is dying. And then our last term, so 4 times negative 5 gives us negative 20. So again, you should double check, make sure that there's nothing, there's no like terms that you can combine before you go ahead and circle your answer. There is, so you'll notice that almost every single time when you multiply binomials together, and notice I said almost every single time, it will not happen every time. When we multiply binomials together using our FOIL method, we will always combine those middle terms because they should be like terms. So we're going to get 6x squared minus 7x minus 20. And then that's going to be our solution. Again, make sure it's in standard form with the highest exponent all the way on the left-hand side. All right. So, if we talked about an example like this prior to chapter 9, you would probably be looking up here at this exponent and say, oh, just distribute that to the 3x and to the 2, right? Because that's kind of what we did in chapter 8 with our exponent rules. But there's one big difference. We have this plus sign in there, and that adds a whole nother factor to it. So we can't just take this exponent and distribute. That's a big no-no, okay? What this actually looks like is, I'm going to pull over a piece of paper here on the side. So when we have something like x squared, that means x times x, right? Or if we have 3x cubed, something like that, that means 3x times 3x times 3x. So then how are we going to write out 3x plus 2 all squared? And the answer is actually pretty easy. It becomes 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2, which now it's set up like the other binomials that we've multiplied together. So let's go ahead and multiply first, outside, inside, last. So let's use our FOIL method. So first, 3x times 3x gives us 9x squared. First, outside, outside, there we go. 3x times 2 gives us 6x. All right, hopefully my green marker keeps working. 1, 2 last times. Here we go. Inside. So again, we have 2 times 3x to give us plus 6x. Oh, time to get into one. Here we go. Plus 6x. And then last, out the very last terms, 2 times 2, which is 4. All right, so again, look at your middle terms, 6x and 6x. We can combine them to get 12x. And then our final answer is 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. All right, last time, here we go. Let's rewrite this, write it out, so you get x minus 4 times x minus 4. Right, now we got to do first, outside, inside, last. So FOIL first. X times x is x squared. Outside, x times negative 4 gives us negative 4x. Inside, negative 4 times x gives us, again, negative 4. Oops. And last, negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Negative 4x can give us negative 8x, so we rewrite the whole thing. And now it's fully simplified.